Missions Pulse. Know God's heart, join his mission.
Mission mobilization matters. How does this matter to the common layperson? I mean, there's a lot of people who might not be going overseas.
Yeah.
I even look at the book subtitle, Calling the Church to Her Core Identity. I mean, there's going to be some sort of pushback by some people saying, wait a minute, I thought the church or Christianity was about my personal growth, my personal relationship with Jesus. Why are you saying this right here, mission mobilization, is the core identity of the church?
Yeah, great question. Well, I actually wrote the book for that common layperson who's sitting in the church and saying, why does mission mobilization matter to me? And the reason why I think most of us have that knee-jerk reaction that it doesn't really matter is because we have seen it in its kind of limited capacity instead of the overarching kind of comprehensive capacity. So I would answer that layperson, why does this matter to me as I sit in the church, is because whether you as that person know it or not, you've been called by God to play a specific role in the fulfillment of the Great Commission. You have a role. If you are a born again follower of Jesus, you have a specific role that you are to play. Now, that doesn't mean you go across the world. Not at all. That, again, is an ingrained idea related to mission and mobilization that is really unfortunate. You can never leave your hometown and still be directly involved with serving among the unreached. So in GMMI circles, we talk about 6 different roles in the Great Commission. And every single follower of Jesus, we believe, possesses at least one of these roles. Now, some people will operate in many of the roles, so not just related to one of them, but at least every believer is meant to participate in the Great Commission in at least one of these roles. And these 6 are giving, they're not rocket science, right? Giving, we know about that one. Going, that's the one who goes as a missionary, a message bearer, as we call them. Prayer and intercession. But when we say these things, giving, going, praying, we're not talking about them in like a one-off, once every 6 months, I go to a small group to pray for the unreached. No, I believe these are meant to be roles that we give a lot of time to, really investing ourselves. So even in giving, some of these people are going to be giving large chunks, even percentages, if they're called to that role of giving to the Great Commission. So we have giving, going, prayer, and then the last 3 are mobilizing. That's one we don't usually think of, but a lot of people in local churches are actually called to mobilize others. They themselves might never go. And when we say go, we don't just mean around the world.
A short-term trip.
There are unreached peoples in most of our cities in America that we can now go out of our church, look around, and find even covered Muslims. So there's ways to interact right there. So we can mobilize others to go. And the last 2, advocating. So we help advocate for maybe an aspect of the Great Commission or a specific people group. I know one lady who's an advocate for Iranian people. Everywhere she goes, she's talking about the needs of Iranians who don't know Jesus, the unreached people throughout Iran. She's an advocate for Iran, although she doesn't live there. She lives in America.
That's cool.
And then the last one is welcoming, the last role. And again, that one, we don't leave our country, our hometown. We go and we recognize we find the different unreached pockets of people that are in our neighborhoods, and we welcome them. We make them feel loved and cared for and special. They're not outcasts. They're not, strangers. We want to love on them. And while we're loving on them, bring them into a relationship with Jesus. And so these 6 roles we found, usually when you break them down, people start to say, oh, yeah, I have a leaning towards this one, or I have a leaning towards that one. So why does mission mobilization matter to the layperson? Because we each have a specific role.
Missions Pulse. Know God's heart, join his mission. This podcast is powered by Within Reach Global. Subscribe, watch, and listen on YouTube today. Visit missionspulse.com.